Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Hong Kong film. Little brother over billion dots, I explode. Big sister, Su Wenzhen, who doesn't want to be a leader and only wants to make money, is thriving in selling goods and doing business. Unexpectedly, recently married sister.in-law Ruby suddenly called, and Big Brother Longtou and the person in charge of Liansheng's conversation were hit and paralyzed. She's going to be kicked out of her house and run down the streets. Please help Su Wenzhen. Fortunately, at a critical moment, Su Wenzhen awakened the Empire Overlord System. With just a few billion resources, he could summon numerous Qin soldiers, Tang soldiers, Song soldiers, and so on to become his minions. When Su Wenzhen had 1,000 little brothers, everyone called him Zhen Ge. You have to take a detour when you see it. When Su Wenzhen had 10,000 younger brothers, he was the biggest winner in the whole team. No one dares to provoke in Hong Kong. When Su Wenzhen had 100,000 little brothers, the governor had to kneel down and call him Yi. Behind-the-scenes leader of Hong Kong Island. Su Wenzhen said, "Don't panic, I'm just a little brother with over 1 billion points, capable of fighting over 1 billion points, and a woman with just over 1 billion points." Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. People cannot stand firm without being ruthless. One more seeks flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In 1985, Yau Ma Ti, outside the city area. Tall and spacious factories have been erected, covering tens of thousands of square meters. 7,000 to 8,000 employees are working day and night. The outside of the factory building was pitch black and silent, but inside it was bustling with people and enthusiastic work. Creak, the door opens, and trucks from front to back queue up to enter the factory area, preparing to load boxes of goods and transport them to various markets for sale. At this moment, a tiger-headed car drove in from a distance and slowly stopped next to the truck, waiting for the co-pilot's secretary to come down and open the car door for the rear seat. The boss hurriedly opened the car door and walked out eagerly. Quickly walked towards a thin and handsome young man at the entrance of the factory building. And he actively extended his right hand, with a flattering and pleasing smile on his face. The drivers and secretaries behind him were stunned, they had never seen their boss treat a young boy like this before. But the next second, they will know why. But it was even more shocking. Because the young man in front of them turned out to be the owner of these 3 factories. He is also the mastermind behind the scenes with millions of assets and monopolizes the entire goods business in Kowloon and the New Territories. People are really more popular than people. That's right, this person is Su Wenzhen. Ah Huizhen, you are still brave enough to say, adjust the goods and then adjust the goods. Thousands of boxes of goods didn't even frown, so you immediately opened them for me. Unlike Liang Kuan, who is a wealthy family property, when he becomes the leader of Hongqing, he turns his back and refuses to recognize others. Starting from the spot price, he completely doubles the shipping price. If it weren't for our group of local bosses supporting him from behind, could he have become the leader of Hongqing so quickly? Pound his mother. Lin Hanlai, who is known in the martial arts world as the Big Shot Lai and the largest class leader on this island, cursed loudly. Finally, I didn't forget to spit hard on the ground. It can be seen that for Liang Kuan's behavior of crossing rivers, demolishing bridges, and killing donkeys, it is truly abhorrent and I wish I could kill him. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen didn't even look up and casually exclaimed, "Xiao Ran, please remember that the original price of each box of goods has increased by 400 yuan. Alright, brother Zhen." A supervisor named Xiao Ran quickly replied, but in his heart, he thought to himself, brother Zhen is nothing but cowhide. With just a touch of his mouth, he got 4 million. Upon hearing this, the Big Shot Lai was momentarily stunned. But soon, he from the old martial arts world quickly understood. Liang Kuan starts from the ground and ships at twice the factory price, while his Su Wenzhen only increases by 40%, which is quite fair. After all, before, his big shot Lai was always looking for Liansheng to get goods. Ah Huizhen, you have a conscience, but not much, said with a bitter smile. Su Wenzhen is not embarrassed either. He is the one who killed Lin Hanlai on both sides, and he has to endure any discomfort. With a smile, he said, in this barbaric era, people cannot stand firm without being ruthless, and shopping malls are like battlefields. If the boss is not ruthless, he will either be squeezed to death by his peers or tricked by his employees. Besides, can I be as ruthless as your big shot? 10 years ago, Lin Hanlai was just a rotten boy in Causeway Bay. In order to rise to power, he chose to give his sister to Li Shutang, who was still a detective at the time, as a mistress. Subsequently, with the help of Li Shutang's connections, Lin Hanlai started with earthworks and gradually expanded and strengthened his business. 3 years ago, Li Shutang became the first chief inspector of the Chinese police force in history, and was also known as the three giants of the Chinese police force along with Cai Yuanqi and Qin Jiqiao. Just as she was getting promoted and wealthy, Li Shutang's original wife suddenly encountered a car accident and successfully went to see Jesus. No one knows if this is a coincidence or murder. I only know that afterwards, Li Shutang successfully rehabilitated Lin Hanlai's sister Lin Wan, and Lin Hanlai also jumped from a bad guy to a big shot. That's also why other A.goods vendors, even if they don't like Liansheng sitting on the ground and starting the price, still have to take the goods from him and be obediently slaughtered. But his boss, Lai, dares to directly drive the bus to Suzhou to purchase goods. The brother-in-law of the chief inspector, even if Liang Kongui is the leader of Hong Kong's largest club, Hongxing Society, we need to weigh it up. Upon hearing this, the big shot laughed and said, oh my, when people wander in the rivers and lakes, they are all involuntary. It's just normal to die these days. If nothing else, Hongxing and Liansheng came to the top, didn't they send the whole family of Tongluan Big Boss B to sell salted duck egg? Also, haven't you and Liansheng happened to be electing speakers every 2 years recently? Big D has the largest influence and territory, and Sun Wan is the most likely candidate to become a new speaker. There are rumors in the martial arts world that at the uncle's tea party, Deng Bo publicly expressed his support for Jordan Ale's ascension. You said, can these two not fight each other? Can they not make a fuss? Being a dragon head, not to mention the beauty, makes money flow like water with a faucet on, splashing into your pocket. Which guy doesn't envy me? He's not jealous. Speaking of this, the big shot changed his tone and urged, to be honest, Huizhen, with your financial resources, you can definitely compete for this and the new generation of spokesperson for Liansheng. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen sneered and said, come on, big shot Lai, how many people can be good leaders? Not being monitored by the police every day, occasionally inviting tea for questioning, or fearing someone's assassination and wishing to bring 10 or 8 bodyguards when going out to the bathroom. Those who come out to mess around may seem glamorous, but in fact, if they step on the coffin or the prison, they will both be repaid. Today you're chopping me, tomorrow I'm chopping you, I'm not even sleeping soundly. I just want to make a stable profit, live in a villa halfway up the mountain, and just listen to others call me handsome boy. In fact, it's not that Su Wenzhen doesn't want to fight, but that it's his mother. It has been almost 2 years since he crossed the Hong Kong film world, and he doesn't even have the golden finger system of the passer. That's not asking for death, what is it? Moreover, Su Wenzhen's true identity is an undercover agent dispatched by the mainland to the Hong Kong Island police force, with the aim of ensuring that the police force does not cause trouble, stir up trouble, or act recklessly during the return of 1997. But the police superior saw that he had performed too well and was unable to place his relatives in the top position, so he was simply sent to work as an undercover agent in Liansheng. Upon seeing it, Su Wenzhen realized that his superior, Gubi, had made him look like a 2. And did it half 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 dot a dot half did it 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 half. And the boss is also the most cowardly talker in the history of Liansheng. Come on, let's not get involved in the competition for power and profit with the club. Taking advantage of this great opportunity, we will take advantage of the window of economic takeoff on Hong Kong Island to crazily engage in A-goods business. The reason why Su Wenzhen was able to defeat numerous A-class leaders in just 2 years and become the A-class hegemon that monopolized the entire Kowloon and new territories. Relying on the market of the mainland's Shenzhen market. But Su Wenzhen is well versed in the business philosophy of his ancestors and the principle of not revealing wealth. So, he has always acted in a low-key manner, to the extent that there is no one in the club who knows how to expand his business. I only know that he, like Jimmy, the younger brother of Guanzai Sen, sells A-grade goods such as bras, underwear, shirts, and jeans. I can't make it to the table. Big shots, please ask for a reward. Just 10 shifts immediately, 10 shifts. Chapter 2. Bind the Empire Domination System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A goods channel. It's a pity you don't come out to choose, after all, such a handsome guy. If you run, I will definitely vote for your sacred vote. If elected as the spokesperson, it can also elevate the overall appearance of Liansheng. Look at those uncles, each one with crooked melons and cracked dates. Especially Deng Bo, his belly is even bigger than that of a pregnant woman who was pregnant in October. I'm afraid he might break his belly and run into a monster. The big shot joked with a strong smile. Upon hearing these words, Su Wenzhen was also delighted. It was the first time he had heard someone describe Deng Bo with such a big belly. With a smile, he replied, "Ha ha ha, big shot lie, I just like people to hear me call me Liangzai. It's because you're so knowledgeable and understand the world. I won't accept your full payment for this shipment. I'll take 4 million for the first time and transfer the remaining 10 million to my company account within 6 months. Is that okay?" Upon hearing these words, the Lao Lai's whole body was about to jump with excitement. He was thinking about how to negotiate payment with Su Wenzhen. After all, the 14 million in 1985 was a huge sum of money, at least equivalent to over $1 billion in later generations. May I ask, which business person would sleep billions of cash in their account? According to the business rules on Hong Kong Island, the first time you come to pick up the goods, you must pay the full amount to pick up the goods, as a sign of sincerity for future cooperation. However, before the big shot could ask for help, Su Wenzhen spoke up first. Save face and substance for him. What is worldly wisdom? This is it. Brother Zhen, when you do things, Lin Hanlai is convinced, with a pattern and a presence. No wonder there are hundreds of A-goods sellers in Kowloon, just get up. It's natural for you not to become bigger and stronger. The big shot praised sincerely. Then he took out a pack of Marlboro cigarettes from his pocket and handed one to Su Wenzhen. The secretary next to me is quick-witted and wants to give the big shot a shot. Unexpectedly, Big Brother Lai snatched the lighter from his secretary's hand, lit it for Su Wenzhen first, and then lit it for himself. The two of them started chatting in a hazy manner, with dozens of workers on the side, under Xiao Rant's command, loading the large truck one after another. Azhen, you speak so much of loyalty, and I, Lin Hanlai, can't help but take the lead in my work. I'll reveal some news to you. Rotten Zijuan is not convinced. I don't know whose path he has taken. He has established a relationship with his loyal and faithful sister-in-law, Sister Su, and threatened to reclaim his ancestral inheritance. He said he was tricked by you. You are also ruthless enough. The market value of the 3 factories is at least 5 million, and you negotiated to only give 1 million. Be careful when going out recently to avoid being ambushed. Big Shot Lai kindly reminded. Hehe, if you're wrong, you have to admit it. If you're beaten, you have to stand at attention. He's a tough guy and he's a gambler. He lost millions in Australia and sold all his ancestral business. If it weren't for me carrying 1 million yuan overnight to Australia Island to redeem him, I'm afraid he might have been thrown into the sea by a pack of horses to feed the fish. Are you still saying that I tricked him? I'm saving his life. Now you're turning your face and refusing to admit it. Shoot your mother. Su Wenzhen sneered. In my mind, there is a scene of Rotten Boy kneeling on the ground, crying and begging for himself. The Loyalty and Righteousness family has a great momentum and is one of the 5 prestigious clubs on Hong Kong Island. Its leader, Liansheng, dares to fight and has combat power ranking at least among the top 5 in Hong Kong. Sister Su is also known for her ruthlessness and ruthlessness. She is known as the Black Widow in the martial arts world and competes with Liang Kuan, who frequently kills his entire family. There aren't many things she's staring at that can run away. Moreover, Su Wenzhen can earn tens of millions of dollars just by selling A-grade products every year, and he takes the risk of being shot and losing his head by smuggling and selling fans with loyalty and loyalty. His annual income is also similar to yours. Even a fool knows how to choose. After all, with such a large business, anyone who knows the inside story wouldn't be jealous. Speaking of which, the big shot changed his tone and suggested, Azhen, should I ask my brother-in-law to come forward and talk to Liansheng? Even if Sister Su is arrogant, the chief inspector's face will still be given. Don't worry, I usually help others with their affairs and require 30% of the shares. On your end, I can only take a maximum of 10%. You know, this one is not for me, it's for my brother-in-law's sake. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen nodded to indicate that he wanted to consider it. He was well aware that hiring a chief inspector on Hong Kong Island would not be a high asking price for 10% of the shares. At this moment, Xiao Ran suddenly walked over quickly, handed over a big brother with a serious expression, and said in a deep voice, Brother Zhen, Sister-in-law called, it seems like something big is going on. Su Wenzhen took the big brother and didn't wait for him to speak. I heard a painful cry coming from inside. Hey, is that Azhen? I'm my sister-in-law Ruby, from Dragon in the Jianghu. Come and save me, I beg you to come. Dong dong dong. Meanwhile, there was a loud knocking on the door over the phone. Sister-in-law, what happened? Su Wenzhen restrained his smile and asked calmly. Your elder brother, the leader of the dragon, was paralyzed by a car downstairs in Temple Street. He didn't wait for me to go to the hospital to take care of him. His children came knocking on his door, asking me to move out of the villa and drive me out of the house. Azhen, you're the head of the braggart show. I don't have anyone else to believe, only you can save me. I beg you, come and save me quickly. If you slow down, they will break through the door and throw me out. Sister-in-law Ruby pleaded bitterly. Upon hearing this, Yi Chen remembered the dragon head wedding 3 days ago, and his sister-in-law was drunk and unconscious. It was he who carried his sister-in-law wearing a black high-slit cheongsam and walked step by step into the villa wedding room. As for the dragon head blowing chicken, that night he was directly intoxicated by a group of uncles in the hotel. A soft figure, a fragrant aroma, and snow-white skin all make one linger and intoxicated. Ah Zhen, what's going on? How are you thinking? The big shot on the side asked curiously. This sentence instantly dragged Su Wenzhen back to reality from her enchanting fantasies. Yes, once he gets involved in club affairs, he gets involved in the new generation of speakers competing for power and benefits. I will definitely expose all of my value. At that time, there will be many greedy leaders like Sister Zhongxinisu. After all, Su Wenzhen, who has no power, no territory but holds tens of millions of annual business, in their eyes, is like a fat lamb. But if you let your sister Law Ruby face a cruel hand and ignore it, it's not his style either. Thinking of that face that I still pity, with pear blossoms and rain on it, Su Wenzhen's bones are all crispy. Just as he was in a dilemma, a sudden sound came from his mind. Ding, the 2-year commitment has arrived, and the host has reached the system activation standard, successfully activated. Ding, congratulations to the host. Bind the Empire's battleground system and invest billions of resources to unleash your army. Chapter 3. I want to blaze sister-in-law. 3 changes seeking freshness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. I want to explode my sister-in-law. Immediately after, a blue light curtain appeared in front of Su Wenzhen that only he could see. I saw it written above. Village Level Gang. Level 1, can be continuously upgraded as the number of people increases. Gang Leader. Su Wenzhen Building Center. First Level Village Center, there are villages, townships, county towns, third-tier cities, second-tier cities, first-tier cities, and capital cities. Each social stratum has a level 5 rating, and upgrading requires reputation value. Reputation value 0. As long as the gang leader expands their influence and obtains achievements, they can obtain reputation value. Initial resources. Population 0 out of 10 gold mine. 50 units grain. 50 units wood. 50 units iron ore. 50 units currently available construction units. Water mill, farmland, logging yard, blacksmith shop, barracks, school. Good guy. Seeing this familiar scene, Su Wenzhen immediately remembered the single-player game he played in his past life, Empire Era. It can't be said that it's almost the same. Summoning a construction worker from the center of the village. Su Wenzhen communicated with consciousness and system in his mind. Yes, master, the system replied, and later came the voice of Show. A construction worker walked out from the center of the village. Consume 10 units of grain, build a barracks, hurry up, I want to explode, I want to summon my younger brother. Su Wenzhen couldn't wait. Ding, the construction workers started building the barracks, consuming 20 units of wood and 10 units of iron ore. Soon, with the sound of a ding bell, the barracks were built. Su Wenzhen didn't care about assigning construction workers to work, so he quickly set up a barracks. After checking the price, I couldn't help but take a deep breath of air conditioning. Qin soldiers. 100 units of gold mines, 500 units of grain. Tang soldier, 70 units of gold mines, 300 units of grain. Song Bing, 200 units of iron ore, 100 units of grain. Note. Gold ore 1.1000, iron ore 100, grain 1.50, wood 70. Su Wenzhen does not have too much time, and upholds that the most expensive is the best. Without hesitation, I chose to summon the Qin soldier. You should know that in history, the great Qin Empire was strong and powerful, unifying 6 countries and sweeping the world. The soldiers under his command have experienced hundreds of battles, and all their bravery has emerged from the mountains of corpses and the sea of blood. Due to the previous summoning of a construction worker, currently only a maximum of 9 young brothers can be summoned, Qin soldiers. Ding, congratulations to the host. The system has automatically transferred 900,000 Hong Kong dollars from the bank account to exchange for 900 units of gold and 225000 Hong Kong dollars to exchange for 4,500 units of grain. Ding, summon a total of 9 Qin soldiers, soldiers' titles, third-class hairpins. The system has automatically generated identities for these 9 people and possesses the common sense and attire to adapt to modern society. The next second, Su Wenzhen saw 9 burly men who were 1.8 meters tall walking out of the shadows. Stand neatly in a row, like a special forces soldier. No, even stronger than special forces. Because they have experienced real wars, hundreds of thousands of entangled battlefields fighting together, their eyes filled with indifference and blood, they are a complete killing machine. The evil energy released from these 9 Qin soldiers instantly scared the big shot back a few steps, and his secretary and driver sat on the ground in shock. This made Su Wenzhen sigh. As expected, ghosts have a noble reason. In history, it was the Qin army with such momentum that they were able to leave Hanggu Pass to the east, conquer the 6 kingdoms, suppress the Xiongnu to the north, and defeat Baiyue to the south, becoming the first unified empire in Chinese history. At this moment, a security guard suddenly rushed over and shouted loudly, "Boss, it's not good. There are over 100 short mules outside, charging with machetes. He threatened to ask you to return the factory to him." Su Wenzhen doesn't need to think about it, he knows that this must be someone from Lao Zaijuan who came to cause trouble. And he happened to take this opportunity to test. He spent a lot of money, a total of 125,000 Hong Kong dollars, to summon a little brother. What is his condition? Immediately, Su Wenzhen ordered, "Starting from today, you will be called Su Yi, Su Er. Su Jiu. I am your big brother. Now, I command you to go and shoot down all the more than 100 ancient troublemakers holding machetes who came to the door, remember not to take any lives." "Yes, big brother." Several people answered in unison. Immediately picked up the machete prepared by Xiao Ran and walked neatly towards the entrance of the factory area. It wasn't until he walked a dozen steps away that the Lao Lai regained his composure and exclaimed in shock, "Azhen, where did you find this little brother? This evil energy is too fierce." Although there were only 9 people, they exuded the aura of 1,000 soldiers and horses. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen thought to himself, this is not a newbie egg, but an old soldier who has gone through multiple battlefields and beheaded at least 3 heads. Can there be no evil energy? On the surface, he said humbly, what's the use of looking imposing? The key is to see if you can fight. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a crackling sound of machetes colliding outside, followed by screams of agony. Surprisingly, it only took less than 3 minutes. It completely stopped. Still very strong, but only 9 people, able to withstand 3 minutes in the battle of over 100 short mules. If you can survive without being disabled, there is definitely a chance to become a club red stick in the future, commented the experienced expert Lai. However, shortly after he finished speaking, he saw Su Yi and Su Er walking in, carrying one of the 4 great red sticks of Lu Zaijuan and Zhong Sini, Go, as if carrying 2 dead dogs. The big shot was stunned and amazed. Unconsciously speaking out, he said, this damn thing is too fierce and fierce. I've been wandering the martial arts world for decades, and I've never seen such a capable young man before. Big brother, the task is completed. Please deal with these 2 bandit leaders. Su Yi said proudly. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen praised and said, not bad, brothers did a great job. As he spoke, he walked forward to Lao Zaijuan. Brother Zhen, I was wrong. I was really wrong. Everything was just a prank from Sister Su. It's not my business, I'm also a victim. Rotten Guy Jun cried and begged for mercy. Unfortunately, Su Wenzhen didn't care about these things at all. He reached out his right hand, and Xiao Ran beside him understood and immediately handed him a machete. Those who come out to mess around must admit their mistakes, stand at attention when beaten. Don't worry, I won't kill you. Killing is illegal. I only need 5 of your fingers, you close your eyes, quickly. It won't hurt. Su Wenzhen said gently. Don't, Brother Zhen, I really know I was wrong, I really know. Rotten Zaijuan hadn't finished speaking yet. Ah. Su Wenzhen had already wielded his sword and cut off all 5 fingers of Lan Zaijuan's right hand. 5 bloody fingers instantly scattered on the ground. Throw it out. Su Wenzhen threw the machete and ordered without looking back. Su Yi executed the command decisively, like carrying a little chick, and lifted the rotten Junzi away. Ah, dirt, right. Su Wenzhen greeted with a smile. Ah Huizhen, let me tell you, my boss is Lian Haolong, the leader of Zongxinyi. If you move me, the whole Zongxinyi will not let you go. Ah Go exclaimed excitedly. No, 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 I have no intention of touching you. On the contrary, I have a message to tell you, and you will be grateful to me. Su Wenzhen said with a smile. In Ah Su's eyes, this smile was like a devil, making him afraid and unable to figure out the way. You, what do you want to do? A dirty said in terror. You should go home immediately, don't knock on the door, just open it, you will have a surprise. Su Wenzhen said with a smile. Immediately, he gestured for Su Air to let go of Ah Go, the green hat man. That's right, in the plot of the movie, Winning Handsome, Ah Go is a pure unlucky guy. Not only is his wife having an affair with his best friend Ah Qing, but he also wears a green hat on him. He was caught by the police when he accidentally picked up goods at the dock, but was brutally silenced by the club and killed by a bullet in prison. The reason why Su Wenzhen chose to let Ah Rui go back is because killing him is more valuable than letting him go back. After resolving this matter, Su Wenzhen finally remembered his sister-in-law who was in danger. Immediately ordered, you 9 will come with me immediately, big shot lie. You can arrange it yourself, and I won't accompany you to load the goods. Immediately, 9 people led by Su Yi took 2 Santanas and followed Su Wenzhen, who was sitting in the Tiger Head Run. Roaring and rushing towards the shallow water bay of the island where the Liansheng Dragon Head Blow's chicken villa is located. Sister-in-law, you wait for me. I'll be right here. You must hold on. Su Wenzhen sat in the back seat and whispered to herself. Big shots, please ask for flowers and support with monthly tickets. Chapter 4. Azhen, come quickly, sister.in.law needs you. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In a luxurious mansion in Repulse Bay on Hong Kong Island. I saw a pair of flashy men and women standing in the hallway outside the bedroom on the 2nd floor. The man held a hammer and frantically smashed it towards the bedroom door. A banging sound. The iron door made of refined steel has been smashed into potholes, with no intact parts. But it just can't be smashed open. On the other hand, he loudly threatened, stinky bitch, open the door for me. Hurry up, if I don't open the door and smash it open, I'll go in and kill you. The woman, on the other hand, stood with her hands inserted into her waist and cursed loudly, you're such a harmful person. You're not married, my dad is fine. As soon as you got married, my dad had a car accident. If you don't get out of my house again, I'll have to call a group of brothers to turn you around. Hurry up and open the door for me. Ruby, the sister.in.law hiding in the bedroom, was both angry and scared when she heard this. On the spot, he angrily rebuked, you 2 unfilial sons. Your father hasn't died yet, so you want to drive me, my stepmother, out of the house. You also want to give me to Crown Prince Hong Tai, from Dragon in the Jianghu, to play with and bully. If you do this, you will be struck by the heavens and struck by lightning. It's hard to die. Later, he sneered and said, if you have the ability, just smash it. I want my mom to open the door for you, dream. My heart was silently praying, ah Azhen, come quickly, I can't hold on anymore. Come quickly, sister.in.law needs you. This bedroom door is the only one made of precision steel in the entire villa. The boastful chicken is timid and cowardly, greedy for life and afraid of death. As a leading figure in the joint victory, but without real power, he is a living puppet. But he knows better that those who come out to mess around will always offend people. In order to sleep soundly, I spared no expense in building this steel gate. What he didn't expect was the bedroom he had never lived in a day. On the contrary, it gave Ruby an advantage. That's right, these 2 people standing outside are just a pair of children who boast about their chickens. At this moment, the corridor was filled with broken tables, chairs, and benches, as well as various kitchen knives and small hammers. Obviously, in order to break open this door. Their siblings have tried every means possible. At this moment, the landline at home rang. The woman quickly pressed the button to connect with Jian, without waiting for her to speak. A shout of anger came from the phone. "Chicken girl, what are you eating? It's been half an hour and you haven't kicked out this stinky woman for me. Do you believe that I sold you to a brothel in Kowloon City, where you would pick up customers every day?" Chicken girl quickly put on a pleasing and flattering smile. "Prince, don't worry, right away, at most give me another 10 minutes, humbly pleaded. Both fathers are leaders of the club, and they are also princes. Even Liansheng is one of the 5 major clubs on Hong Kong Island. Longtou is still a second-tier club, why not win with Liansheng? The power and status of both sides can be described as vastly different. There is only one reason, and that is everyone knows. The leader of Liansheng boasted that he was a puppet, but the real person in charge was Deng Bo. And Longtou's leader, Uncle Mei, is definitely a big shot on the road who controls real power. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, your mother is a jerk. With this time, it's enough for me to shoot 2 shots. Prince Longtou impatiently cursed loudly. Speaking of this, he couldn't help but curse and say, blowing chickens is waste, and those born are also waste. Your whole family is waste, garbage. Zhi Mei and her brother Fichexiang were filled with anger upon hearing this, but they dared not refute it. There's no way, both of them have a handle in the crown prince's hands. Fei Xiong and his father boasted about the virtues of being a chicken, but they were both good at gambling and bad at it. They owed the crown prince over 2 million yuan in gambling debts. Chicken girl, on the other hand, is addicted to drugs and likes to mess around, so the crown prince has a bunch of her photos in his hand. It is obvious that the angry crown prince has lost patience. Originally, he planned to use Zhi Mei and Feishu to drive Ruby out of the villa. He staged a scene of a beautiful woman in distress and a hero appearing, learning TV dramas and embarking on a romantic encounter journey. At this time, women have the weakest emotions, are the most helpless, and have the lowest level of defense, so naturally they can conquer and win. You should know that the crown prince of the flower field veteran has definitely been salivating for Ruby for a long time. Thinking day and night, I wanted to hold it in my arms and love it fiercely. With a loud bang, he smashed the big brother worth over 10,000 yuan on the spot and ordered, "Demeng, take a few brothers with a mountain axe and go in." I don't believe it. This door is a copper wall and iron wall, it won't break open or break through. Yes, Crown Prince. Sitting on the passenger seat of Hutuban, Longtou, who was tall and strong, quickly nodded and said with a big red stick. "Once you're done, give me a call. I'm going to fuck this stinky woman in the brothel." A singer girl from a background, just a mother named Sang, let me chase her for a whole 8 months, what the hell. Lousy Tang, Crown Prince Longtou, it's your blessing to have a crush on you, Ruby. Demeng nodded and said, "Don't worry, Crown Prince. I will definitely not delay your good deeds." Then he called in a dozen or so Longtou thugs, carrying a mountain axe, and rushed into the villa. In no time, a group of people rushed into the second floor. Menggu. Menggu. Upon seeing this, Zhi Mei and Feishu quickly changed their faces and greeted each other pleasantly. There is no such ferocity or aggression towards Ruby at all. Demeng just nodded, even if he said hello. There was no intention of addressing either of them at all. After checking the steel gate, he frowned and said to his subordinates, "Cut me here, cut me to death. As long as you smash this lock, the door will naturally open." Undoubtedly, it is Longtou's double flower red stick, who immediately discovered the key to the problem. How could a fine steel gate be smashed open with an axe or hammer? But the lock is not. Yes, Brother Meng, the few people agreed. Immediately waving the mountain axe, one by one queuing up and taking turns to smash the big lock. Soon, the gate will loosen. Inside, Ruby looked at the crumbling door and hurriedly pushed the wardrobe, dressing table, and other items over in fear. Top on the door. Even so, it is still of no use. The shaking of the gate became increasingly intense, and the looseness became more apparent. So, he quickly picked up his phone and called Su Wenzhen. Azhen, come quickly. If you don't come again, my sister.in.law will be ruined by them. This door is about to be bumped into by them. Before the broken words could be spoken, Su Wenzhen heard a piercing scream coming from the phone. Immediately after, there was no sound. Just outside the villa, Su Wenzhen's heart sank. Without considering anything else, he kicked open the villa door and headed straight towards the second floor. Sister-in-law, I'm here, shouted loudly. P.S. Brothers, please vote for a monthly ticket and give us a reward of 1 yuan, or the data will be too ugly. Please ask awesome. Chapter 5. The Killing Sister-in-Law. Seeking monthly pass. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Azhen, sister.in.law is here, come and save me. Sister.in.law. Ruby instinctively responded eagerly. I haven't waited for many Longtou thugs to react yet. 2 large chairs fly from bottom to top, violating common physics knowledge, and the speed is getting faster and faster. The black spots in their eyes are getting bigger and bigger. They had almost no time to react, and the huge black spot seemed to instantly transform into a 1,000-pound hammer, fiercely hitting them. Bang bang. Ah! A huge impact hit the skull, directly exploding it, and the white cytoplasm mixed with crimson blood splattered everywhere. The 2 people who were hit were the ones who only came and let out their last screams, then died instantly, completely breathless. However, what they didn't know was that they could die instantly. For them, it will be a kind of happiness. Next, the remaining people will experience even more terrifying torment than the 18 layers of hell. After 2 large chairs, Su Wenzhen's long legs, like steel whips, swept across the Longtou thugs on both sides of the corridor. On both sides of the right side, it was swept down and kicked towards the side and rear, breaking through the railing on the second floor. It flew backwards and hit the ground hard. Just as they wanted to stand up, they were rushed by Su Yi and Su Er. One by one, like tigers and wolves, they rushed forward crazily, stepping on their ribs and tendons one after another. So much so that in the lobby of the first floor, there was a crisp sound of bones breaking one after another. Of course, there were also screams like slaughtering pigs that followed. And the Longtou thugs on both sides on the left were kicked away by Su Wenzhen and smashed into the wall. The spine is cracking, making bursts of fractures. Later, Su Wenzhen bullied himself and hit them in the abdomen with a beautiful knee, directly hitting their internal organs and causing them to turn the river upside down. Su Wenzhen, who broke through numerous defenses, did not engage in too much fighting, but instead handed over peripheral operations to Su Wu, Su Lu, and others who followed closely behind. He himself rushed straight towards the bedroom door that had already been smashed open, with a punch full of killing intent, and headed straight towards the back of Longtou's double flower red stick. As the top expert of Longtou, Domination quickly reacted and dodged on his side, while his right hand, holding a machete, swung heavily backwards. Upon seeing this, Su Wenzhen immediately withdrew his fist and kicked his leg towards Domination's right tiger mouth. Bang! Domination never expected that Su Wenzhen would react so quickly and counterattack so fiercely. Without time to dodge, he was kicked in the right wrist with a clang, and the machete in his hand flew backwards. But Domination, who has always been brave and fierce, not only had no fear at all, but also became increasingly excited. With clenched fists and eyes like a king cobra, he stared fixedly at Su Wenzhen. With a sneer at the corner of his mouth, he said, "Kid, there's something that can avoid me turning around and killing. There's no more than 2 hands in Hong Kong. Report your name, I won't kill the unknown. Those who dare to destroy the good deeds of Prince Longtou will not have a good end." Waiting for Su Wenzhen's response. Azhen. Originally, the dagger was pressed against the delicate and fair neck of my sister.in-law, Ruby, who was like a white swan and exuded a hint of blood. Upon seeing this scene, he immediately exclaimed excitedly, "I knew you would definitely come, you wouldn't ignore me." Upon hearing these words, Su Wenzhen's mind was filled with black lines and a burst of sweat broke out. "Good guy, sister.in-law, it's easy to misunderstand what you're saying. I have an affair with you," she thought to herself. Actually, this is what Ruby wants. As expected, when Domination heard these words, he sneered repeatedly and said, "I'm telling you, rushing over so hard, and killing everyone in all directions as soon as you come up. So it's a little white face raised by Ruby. Speaking of which, Domination even joked, Azhen, I heard you're a boastful horse, and now you're getting involved with your boastful wife. The 3 taboos in the martial arts world. Seducing sister.in-law, betraying brothers, and betraying the society. You are the top 3 taboos. Once it spreads, even if Longtou doesn't pursue you, the whole team and Liansheng will still take your life." Su Wenzhen's mind suddenly froze and his killing intent surged. With a sneer, he said, "Hee, spread it out. We need to see if you can step out of this villa door tonight." As soon as Su Wenzhen finished speaking, he rushed forward like a sharp arrow exploding. Wave your fists like hail towards Domination. The speed is getting faster and the strength is getting stronger. At the beginning, Domination was able to block for a while with his Kai Li Fo Quan and Hong Quan, which he had practiced for many years. Hong Quan is domineering and fierce, Kai Li Fo is graceful and agile. But when combined, they are not as good as the 8 Extremes Fist, which is known as the Emperor of Fist. The 8 Extremes Fist, characterized by a wide opening and closing, strong and powerful, and a hard bridge and hard horse route, is combined with extremely fast body movements and a phantom-like punching speed. Ordinary people only need to wave a dozen punches, and they are already exhausted. After all, the 8 Extremes Fist really consumes too much physical and mental energy. But Su Wenzhen's body, after being systematically combed, was already as strong as steel and iron bones. After the bombardment of 30 or 40 punches, there was no sign of fatigue, but rather the bigger and faster, the stronger and stronger. Domination becomes more and more fearful and anxious as he grows bigger. He never imagined that the young man in front of him looked thin and frail. Despite unleashing his power, he was not even a match for a 1.9-meter tall man. The sister.in-law Ruby on the side didn't expect that Azhen would be so fierce that Longtou's top hitter would retreat step by step. Shocked, my whole mouth opened in an O shape. In the end, Domination was chased by Su Wenzhen all the way to the wall, unable to retreat and wanting to switch to the extreme. Even if he dies, he must take Su Wenzhen away. However, as expected, he couldn't have let Domination succeed. The ultimate move of the 8 Extremes Fist was to lean against the mountain and hit Domination's rib, causing him to instantly fall into a state of unconsciousness. And break his dagger-piercing heart-killing move. Then, taking advantage of this opportunity, Su Wenzhen hit Domination's throat with a beautiful heart-piercing elbow. Bang! My throat was shattered, and I couldn't even make a scream. It fell to the ground like a ball of mud. Blood splattered on Su Wenzhen's face. At this moment, he is like a demon from hell. And men are not bad, women do not love. The worse a man is, the more his sister.in-law loves him. I saw my sister.in-law Ruby rush towards Su Wenzhen regardless of everything, and in an instant, she threw herself into his embrace, hanging on him like a koala. Azhen, how fierce you are. Sister-in-law really likes it. Ruby's eyes lit up and he tightly clasped Su Wenzhen's neck with both hands, shouting excitedly. His eyes are filled with admiration and infatuation. Then, as if he had survived a disaster, he said, Azhen, I knew that the whole team and Liansheng were unreliable, and no one would come to save me. Only you will not abandon my sister.in-law, only you will be willing to abandon everything, regardless of everything, to save my sister.in-law. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen felt like saying, "Sister-in-law, come on down and talk first." But before he could say these words, a furious and gloomy face stood at the bedroom door. It seems like a man who is about to explode completely in the next moment. That's right, this person is none other than Prince Hongtai, Luo Hong. He thinks day and night, tossing and turning, dreaming of the woman Ruby he wants. His every move was filled with the charm of an imperial sister, full of femininity, making him a grand Prince Hongtai. Chasing all the way from Causeway Bay to Tsim Sha Sui, then to Mong Kok, and even to present de Repulse Bay. I never succeeded. But now, this woman seems to be in love, immersed in the embrace of her beloved. Seeing the woman I love in the arms of another man, affectionate, you and I are so entangled. What could be more murderous, despairing, and infuriating than this? Su Wenzhen, I'm going to kill you, dare to steal women from me. You all have to die, you all have to die. Speaking, the irrational crown prince frantically pulled the trigger, and the highly lethal black star caused sparks to splatter throughout the bedroom. Bang bang bang. Su Wenzhen didn't have time to counterattack, so he could only roll on the spot while holding Ruby, avoiding bullet fire. And forcefully kick the wardrobe, smashing it at the crown prince. As the crown prince dodged, Su Yi and Su Er quickly rushed towards him, one left and one right, upon hearing the sound of gunfire. Su Wenzhen is their master. They are little brothers, and even more so, dead warriors. Once needed, they will die unconditionally for Su Wenzhen. So, when they heard gunshots, Su Yi and Su Er rushed over as soon as possible. The crown prince didn't have time to react, so he had to randomly pull the trigger, bang bang. 3 gunshots, 2 bullets were dodged. But there was another one that hit Su Yi on the thigh, and in an instant, blood poured out like a torrent, raging uncontrollably. The crown prince wanted to continue pulling the trigger and was shocked to find that there were no bullets left. So, he had to throw away the black star and flee outside. At this point, Su Wenzhen couldn't let the crown prince escape. I saw my sister-in-law, who was pressed under me, let go of her, and she was like a carrier spring launching a carrier-based aircraft. With a whoosh, she rushed out. Bang! Kicked the crown prince in the back. The crown prince, who has been hollowed out by alcohol and lust, has no resistance or combat power after losing Black Star and a group of Hongtai attendants. On the spot, he was kicked into the stairs, spun down the villa stairs, and rolled down the lobby on the first floor. At this time, the crown prince is completely free from his previous arrogance. On the contrary, a disheveled face covered in blood. He had bruises all over his body and a fractured spine, which made him let out a hissing wail. In the hall, Su Ba and Su Jiao rushed over as soon as possible and placed 2 chopping knives on the crown prince's shoulder. Sister-in-law, what should he do? Su Wenzhen stood at the staircase on the 2nd floor and asked for advice from his sister-in-law, Ruby, who had just walked over. I saw that Ruby at this moment is completely different from the previous weakness, panic. On the contrary, at this moment she was wearing a black embroidered peony high slit qipao, with a high bun and high heels on her feet. Interpret the elegance and nobility of women to the fullest. Ruby walked down the stairs step by step, looking at the once arrogant crown prince Hongtai, but now he could only kneel on the ground like a dog. Ruby picked up the dagger on the table and smiled brightly, saying, "Prince, how majestic are you? Do you want to be with me? Want to rape me? I'm right here. Come on. With a piercing sound, the dagger pierced into the crown prince's thigh and stirred up as he pleased. The fierce gaze and sharp movements, even Su Ba and Su Jiao, who have been on the battlefield for a long time, couldn't help but tremble their eyelids. Ah! The crown prince let out a terrifying scream. However, Ruby did not stop there. Instead, he pulled out the dagger and scratched it back and forth on the crown prince's face. Shouting loudly, "Keep shouting, I'll dig out your 2 eyeballs. You like to play with women. You are lustful, right? Without these eyes, Luo Hong is a fucking blind man. Prince Hong Tai is blind. If this were to be spread, I don't know how shocked it would be. Ruby, how do you want me to be released? Give me a price, I'm willing to give anything. It used to be my fault, Luo Hong had no eyes, I'm not human. The crown prince is really scared now, scared. He never expected that the woman in front of him, full of charm, would be as ruthless as a bamboo leaf green in his heart. Upon hearing this, Ruby laughed proudly and said, "Ha ha ha, what's the price? No problem. Think about it, I've been harassed and harassed by you for a whole 8 months. I have a family that I can't go back to, and I'm even forced to marry a man in the same grade who can be my father. I want you 20 million, isn't that excessive?" Previously, she was always forced to please Crown Prince Hong Tai as a small person, but now, it's the opposite. How can we not make her excited? Not too much, not too much. The Crown Prince hurriedly said, "But, I'll give you the money, can you guarantee to let me go? Do you have any choice?" Ruby sneered, "Give me the money, I promise not to let them kill you." Okay, I promise. My bank card is in the safe of the Happy Valley Villa, and the password is 65XXX. The bank card has 3 million yuan and the password is 598XXX. In addition, there is also the property ownership certificate for this villa, the property ownership certificates for 2 properties, as well as the property ownership certificates for 3 sports cars and 2 purebred racehorses. I think this is enough to be worth 20 million. The Crown Prince had no choice but to surrender all his property to save his life. After reporting his family fortune, the Crown Prince quickly begged, "Ruby, I'm sincere enough. You must keep your word and release me immediately. Don't worry, the most important thing when you come out to cheat is to have credibility. I, Ruby, will definitely keep my word. If I say I don't let them kill you, I won't let them kill you," Ruby said with a smile. Upon hearing these words, the Crown Prince also had a feeling of finally escaping danger. But the next second, he felt like he had fallen into 18 layers of hell. "But I didn't say, I won't kill you. Right, my Prince Hong Tai." Ruby revealed his white teeth and said with a smile. "Ruby, I'll pounce on your mother. If you dare to play with me, I'll fight with you." As he spoke, the Crown Prince struggled to charge forward and collided with his sister.in.law. The outbreak before death is extremely terrifying and terrifying. Even veterans like Su Ba and Su Jiu couldn't hold on. But Ruby is truly a strong woman, not only without any fear, but also holding a dagger and charging towards each other. With a whoosh, he accurately stabbed the Crown Prince's heart. Ah! The Crown Prince let out a scream, and he knelt in front of Ruby on the spot due to intense pain. Ruby's face remained unchanged and he vigorously stirred with a dagger, completely shattering the Crown Prince's black heart before pulling out the bloody dagger. He casually threw it on the ground, turned around, and took out a wet wipe from the table to wipe it. It's like slaughtering a chicken or duck without any psychological burden. The onlookers were stunned, even Su Wenzhen, who claimed to be a person of 2 generations, was also shocked. Azhen, remember, the path of the rivers and lakes is not a turning point, and the people of the rivers and lakes are soldiers crossing the river. Since you've done it, then go to hell. If the Crown Prince doesn't die, it's us who will die. Sister-in-law Ruby said solemnly. P.S. Brothers, with a nearly 5,000-word seal, I am absolutely sincere. I am looking for monthly passes and flowers. Which big shot has a monthly ticket in his hand? Vote for one. Chapter 6. Sister-in-law, are you teaching me how to do things? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Azhen, you do things, sister.in.law loves you so much. Ruby walked up to Su Wenzhen and praised him with a smile. Immediately extend 3 fingers as delicate as scallions. There are three most important things to do when getting out of here. Being ruthless, not afraid of trouble, daring to kill. Others don't know, but my Ruby knows very well. You, Su Wenzhen, are the largest A.Goods leader in Hong Kong, monopolizing Kowloon and the new territories as the A.Goods hegemon. It's okay if your business is small. With clubs covering it, you can still have a smooth sailing. But Azhen, you are now a big business with an annual income of millions, and even a person would be envious. Anyone with some influence would also like to come up and share a share of the pie. And your big brother, who is boasting about chickens, is not at all capable, so you must come out and fight. The club's food, you can't even eat it if you don't eat it. Azhen, are you right about what I said? Speaking of which, Ruby took the opportunity to sit on the sofa. Elegantly cross-legged, the high-slit Cheongsam reveals large patches of snow-white skin. Take out a lady's cigarette, hold it with slightly moist red lips, and light it with a Zippo lighter. I took a deep breath, my eyes narrowed slightly, and lazily leaned against the sofa. It seems that the corpses everywhere and the blood flooding the hall have nothing to do with her. The Crown Prince Hong Tai, who knelt on the ground and died to death, was not like what she killed. And like an empress who controls the entire scene and listens to her commands. The strength of its aura is like being born with the ability to be a big sister. Only Su Wenzhen could see that the calf exposed from the high-slit Cheongsam trembled slightly. To be honest, Ruby enjoys the feeling of being condescending and controlling the life and death of others. It can even be said to be infatuated. Because this is damn power. Ruby begins to give orders when her fingers with bright red nail polish are holding women's cigarettes. Azhen, you'll take someone to a Happy Valley villa later. Throw all these corpses, including Prince Hong Tai Luohong, and sprinkle some blood to create a murder scene. Then open the safe and take 4 million, don't move the rest. Reveal the wind to Luohong's archenemy, Morning Wave, and say that the Crown Prince is running away. He will definitely take someone to kill him. The remaining 1 million yuan, along with property certificates, property ownership certificates, and so on, were prepared for him. At that time, the death of Crown Prince Hong Tai will have nothing to do with us. As for the 4 million you received, don't worry, I don't want a penny, it's all for tonight's brother's hard work. Speaking, he squinted his eyes and started smoking a cigarette. It is obvious that she is very satisfied with her arrangements for the aftermath. Unfortunately, women are ultimately women. I saw Su Wenzhen sneer and turn around to walk in front of his sister-in-law Ruby. With one hand supporting the sofa and the other pinching Ruby's delicate chin. Sister-in-law, are you teaching me how to do things? Said coldly speaking, Su Wenzhen boldly snatched the cigarette from his sister-in-law's mouth. I took a sip myself. The sister-in-law saw the situation, but there was no panic. But instead, with a flirtatious look in her eyes, she said, why, are you not satisfied with this 4 million yuan hard work fee? How about giving me to you? Speaking of which, he deliberately extended his hands to untie Su Wenzhen's shirt opening. As he twisted his body, he shouted, come on, it's right here. Come on me. Fuck me. As long as you dare, my sister-in-law will be your person tonight. Come on. Aren't you guys the ones who love doing this kind of thing the most? This tiger and wolf action directly scared Su Wenzhen and made him jump up. He never expected that this Ruby would be so fierce, just do whatever it says. Watching Su Wenzhen as if frightened, he took a few steps back in succession. Ruby burst out laughing proudly. Such a seductive and enchanting charm, like Daji who harms the country and the people pure and elegant style. This couldn't help but make Su Wenzhen, who saw this scene, secretly sigh in his heart. No wonder some people say that in Hong Kong films, the most sister-in-law temperament is none other than Guan Shumei. Indeed, she is a beauty among beauties. However, Ruby did not make any progress. On the contrary, she, who is a veteran of the martial arts world, knows very well how to control her own sense of propriety and is knowledgeable about human relationships and worldly wisdom. Get up immediately and stand up. With a serious expression and sharp eyes, he asked seriously, Azhen, do you have a better way? The Longtou family is in great power, and the leader, Uncle Mei, has immense power. At present, dealing with the two of them can be said to be as easy as pie. Su Wenzhen quickly restrained his mind and said in a deep voice, Sister-in-law, the method you said is certainly good. But there are too many flaws and too many variables. Especially the fugitive, lost wave, who appears to be brave and fierce, exuding all kinds of authority. Actually, it's just a matter of external strength but internal strength. The reason why Uncle Mei didn't step forward to deal with him. It's to train his son Luohong and prepare for the crown prince to take over as the head of Longtou in the future. Once Uncle Mei personally steps down, do you think there is a high chance that the morning wave can escape from Xingtian? If the morning wave is caught, Uncle Mei will investigate and we will completely expose it. At that time, we'll have Uncle Mei come to mourn his son. Uncle Mei dares to let our whole family die. Upon hearing these words, Ruby's heart was instantly shaken. Although Longtou is not one of the 5 major clubs on Hong Kong Island. The 5 major clubs are Hongqing, Dongqing, Sinian, 14K, and Liansheng, ranked by strength. But its power is strong, with numerous territories and over 3,000 thugs alone. 9 halls, 18 red sticks. Known as the first person among the 5 major clubs. Absolutely not to be underestimated. So, what should we do? Ruby calmed down and urgently asked. Shobwa is not a match for Longtou's leader, Uncle Mei. So I'll find them a bigger and stronger opponent. Speaking of this, Su Wenzhen ordered, Su Ba, Su Jiu, you two go outside and buy me more than 10 large refrigerators, freeze all the bodies for me. Speaking, Su Wenzhen took out a bank card from his pocket and placed it on the table. The two of them then took orders and left. Then he continued, but for now, the most important thing for us is to strengthen ourselves, seize control of and win together. Sister-in-law, you're right. I didn't pay much attention to a small business, but once the business grows, every cow, ghost, snake, and god always gets a share of the pie. Su Wenzhen remembered that the loyal and trustworthy Black Widow Su Jia wanted to get involved in the A.Goods business, and her anger instantly rose in her heart. Upon hearing Su Wenzhen say she wanted to seize control of Liansheng, the sister-in-law, who had always been very power-driven, suddenly lit up her eyes. Excitedly, Azhen, what do you think we should do to win and win together? You should know that among the 5 major clubs in Xiangjiang, the oldest and most influential one is we and Liansheng. Once taken, we will immediately become the big shots of Hong Kong's underworld, not to mention the overwhelming power. At least Longtou's leader, Uncle Mei, we no longer have to be afraid and worried. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen smiled slightly and said, it's very simple. If you want to seize power, you have to listen to me. Sister-in-law, can you do it? Are you obedient, including warming the bed? Ruby looked back and smiled, then drove the car onto the highway. It is obvious that this woman knows how to use her beauty to seduce men's minds. But it can be easily retracted and released, just click and stop. The height of the road is so high that even the Fa-hai of Jinshan Temple cannot withstand it. Suddenly, his face changed and he said in a deep voice, you say, I listen. You immediately pack up your clothes and come with me to Yao Ma Ti Hospital. Hold on and talk nonsense to Liansheng. He can't fall into someone else's hands. He is the most useful big card we can hold in our hands. Su Wenzhen earnestly instructed. Okay, I'll listen to you. Ruby didn't hesitate and quickly turned around, walking to the bedroom to tidy up his clothes. At the same time, Su Wenzhen ordered that Su Yi and Su Er, 2 children who were boasting about chickens, be given a pair. That is to say, take photos of chicken girl and aircraft tiger. Big shots, please vote for monthly tickets and flowers. Chapter 7. Asir, do you also want to teach me how to do things? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. West Kowloon Police Station, inside the first floor entrance. As a senior inspector of AJI, full name Organized Crime and Triad Investigation Department, expanded from the anti-black group, Lu Qichang. After receiving the news that Liansheng's leader wanted to become a tainted witness in order to protect themselves, quickly organize a large number of elite personnel and rush to Yaomati Hospital as soon as possible, to prevent someone from silencing or various accidents. At this moment, Lu Qichang, with a stern expression on his face, was carrying a police officer's certificate and strode towards the entrance. On the avenue next to the square, although it was already late at night, the lights were brightly lit and the police sounded loudly. More than a dozen police cars were lined up in a row, with hundreds of police officers standing on both sides of the cars in full readiness, ready to depart at any time. At this moment, a middle-aged man happened to return to the headquarters after completing a mission. After seeing this big scene, I quickly stopped the car and couldn't even turn off the fire in time. He hurriedly rushed into the hall. I happened to run into my good partner, Lu Qichang, who was about to leave. Hurriedly asked, Chang, what happened? Has there been any news from the Ni family? They found out about their drug trafficking warehouse. That's right, the person here is not anyone else. It is Huang Zicheng who has been cheating Qin Yongren into having a home but cannot return, having a girlfriend but cannot love, for 3 years and 3 more. He and Lu Qichang are both senior inspectors of the West Kowloon Chronicles. It is the right arm of the Chief Inspector Chen Jichao, jokingly referred to as the second general by the short mules on the road. In recent years, Huang Zicheng has been keeping a close eye on the underground emperor of Tsim Sha Sui, Ni Kuan, and swear to uproot the entire new record. Send them all to prison. He absolutely does not allow Qin Yongren to end his undercover status early and return to the police force before the mission is successful. This time, he just returned from the rooftop after the meeting with the undercover king, Great Injustice, Qin Yongren. On the one hand, I wish Qin Yongren a happy birthday and gave him a Rolex watch as a gift. On the other hand, it is also an attempt to play the emotional card, stand on the moral high ground, and make Qin Yongren insist on being undercover and not giving up. No, it was a sudden accident with Liansheng blowing chicken, and he was knocked paralyzed. He is very scared now, suspecting that someone wants to kill someone and turn him into a stain witness. Lu Qichang introduced as he walked, and Liansheng. Is it the one who has been causing a lot of controversy in the recent election of spokespersons? Huang Zicheng hesitated for a moment before asking. Yes, it's them. I don't believe in the Yao Ma Ti police station. I called out to CRAG, but I'm afraid the police force might have an insider, said Lu Qichang. Walk to the roadside, open the car door, and sit in the passenger seat. Huang Zicheng didn't hesitate and simply pulled out the back seat and sat down. In a deep voice, he said, exactly. Take out the old club he Liansheng in one go. All those damn uncles, come and shoot targets. Especially Deng Bo, who is old and immortal, dares to confront me. After having evidence this time, do I think he still dares to be arrogant? Lu Qichang didn't say much and stretched out the window. With a wave of his hand, he ordered, let's go. In an instant, there was a loud roar. One police car after another roared straight towards Yaomati Hospital. Wait until Su Wenzhen arranges for the aftermath of the Qianshui Bay Villa. Let Su Ba and Su Jiao stay behind and watch over the chicken cub and the airplane tiger. When I hurriedly took my sister in Law Ruby and 7 subordinates to Yaomati Hospital. The entire perimeter of Yaomati Hospital has been put on alert. Except for police officers, no one is allowed to enter or exit without permission. Azhen, what's going on? How could there be any bad guys? And with each gun, it doesn't look like it's from the Yaoma T police station. The sister.in.law sitting in the passenger seat frowned as she saw the scene before her. These are the people from West Kowloon Aji, we're a step late. Su Wenzhen said regretfully. Once the boastful chicken is successfully turned into a stain witness, it will have no practical value for Su Wenzhen. Only boasting without saying it, but controlling a large amount of evidence such as smuggling transactions by associations, is useful. But soon, he casually looked up and saw a familiar figure in the corridor on the third floor. In his past life, he was a loyal fan of infernal affairs. For Huang Ziqing's figure, it can be said that he is very familiar. Sister-in-law, we still have a chance. Huang Ziqing hasn't walked into the hospital room yet, and hasn't seen any boastful chickens, he said excitedly, we must rush in immediately. Upon hearing this, Ruby immediately understood as he looked at the patrolling thugs outside. Immediately pull open the car door and rush towards the warning line. Crying loudly, husband, you died so miserably. I can't even see you for the last time. You left us orphans and widows, how can you live in the future? The police officers saw the situation and quickly came over to stop the sister.in.law Ruby from entering. Su Wenzhen jumped onto the roof of the car while they were not paying attention. Then, with a borrowed force, he jumped onto the railing on the second floor. Jump into the hallway and charge straight towards the stairs. Huang Ziqing and Lu Qichang, who hurried on, felt a shadow rushing towards them. Rushed into the room ahead of time. It takes less than 8 seconds before and after. Whenever there is a mistake, Su Wenzhen won't be able to see the leader of Liansheng boasting today. After entering the door, Su Wenzhen didn't say anything and didn't have time to say anything. After all, it's Huang Ziqing behind. Just took out a photo of World War I from his pocket and boasted in front of Yang Liaoyang. The latter immediately widened their eyes upon seeing the situation. Excitedly patting the bedside, wanting to stand up. But Su Wenzhen took a step forward and pressed his arms. Boss, don't get excited, the police officers are all here, he said in his mouth, they will protect you. But as he bent down, he whispered in his ear, threatening, your children are all in my hands. If you want them to live, don't speak recklessly. Huang Ziqing saw Su Wenzhen bowing his head as if saying something. Immediately rebuked, what are you doing? Stand up for me. Su Wenzhen saw that his goal had been achieved and stood up with a smile. Turning around, he said, Asir, are you teaching me how to do things? You go out, Aji handles the case, all the idle people, etc. go out. Lu Qichang pinned the police officer's certificate to his chest and loudly rebuked him. Huang Ziqing was angry and said, kid, you're very arrogant. You're used to bullying men and women on weekdays, and you don't even pay attention to the police Aji. Someone, take this guy out of here and take him to the police station. Give him all kinds of stockings, milk tea, tiger stools, and chili water. Let him know that we remember the way to treat guests. An order was given, and a dozen or so police officers with live ammunition rushed in from outside, all aiming their guns at Su Wenzhen. If you dare to move a little, I will dare to shoot you to death. After all, Aji is the top 5 crime investigation teams in the police station. Later, Huang Ziqing pointed at Su Wenzhen's nose and said fiercely, kid, dare to challenge us Aji. I'll make your life worse than death. It is obvious that Huang Ziqing's anger over not being able to grasp the handle of the new GNI family has all been vented on Su Wenzhen. In his opinion, I cannot deal with the NI family, known as the Emperor of Tsim Sha Sui. You little brat, I dare not move anymore. Whisper to me, I'll let you know why the flowers are so red. But the next second, with a click, Su Wenzhen directly broke Huang Ziqing's middle finger. With a sneer, he said, hee, I don't care who you are. Dare to point at my nose. I'm not used to you. Huang Ziqing never dreamed that a small horse would dare to be so arrogant now. You know, he's the senior inspector of Aji. For these clubs, they are absolute nemesis and can be considered as high authority. Even if the leader of Hongxing society, Jiang Tiansheng, meets, he must be polite. The local snake in Sim Sha Sui and the new leader Ni Kun wished he could kill Huang Jicheng. But as long as both sides meet, Ni Kun still needs to pretend to be hospitable and enthusiastic. And the horse in front of me is even more ruthless than Jiang Tiansheng and Ni Kun. This is simply beyond the imagination of everyone present. Quick, let Inspector Huang go. Lu Qichang quickly pulled out his .38 pistol, pulled open the safety latch, and ordered. And the police officers behind them are even more like facing a great enemy and dare not be careless. Kid, you're going to die this time, I said. Huang Jicheng said fiercely, dare to attack the police, even if the Heavenly King and Laozi come, I can't protect you. But the next second, a police officer walked in quickly, holding a Big Brother with the voiceover turned on. Report to Lu Qichang. Sir Lu, the phone call from Inspector Li of the police headquarters. Upon hearing this, Lu Qichang dared not neglect and quickly answered the phone. Bending slightly, he smiled and said, Inspector Li, is there anything you need? A Chang, Aiken is my friend. For the sake of my face, don't make things difficult for him. Li Shutong said with a smile. This statement shocked the whole audience. Whether it's Lu Qichang or Huang Jicheng, or the police officers in the room, or even the bragging chickens lying in bed. I never expected that Su Wenzhen would have such great face. Such a strong network of relationships. Can persuade the Grand Police Chief Inspector Aji to come forward and intercede for him. Chapter 8. Shocking, a phone worth 10 million. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The Chief Inspector of the Tang Police Headquarters personally called. Does Lu Qichang dare not listen? Do Huang Jicheng dare not give face? You should know that Li Shutong is not just one of the three giants of the Chinese police force. At the same time, it is also the most likely Chinese to become the first to step into the rank of police chief. Moreover, in the Aji system, it is a ceiling-level figure among Chinese people. Even their immediate superior, Chen Jichao, who was also a high-ranking chief inspector, had to lower his position by half when he saw him. After all, under the same rank, the natural senior half of the police headquarters. And the police force is a place that emphasizes hierarchy, strict hierarchical order, and semi-military management. Being a top official can really crush people. So, the ultimate result was that the West Kowloon General Office's Aji launched a massive attack on Yao Ma Ti Hospital. Get ready to showcase your skills and do a big job. But it was rejected by a phone call from Su Wenzhen. When I came, it was so beautiful and elegant. How embarrassed and unbearable it was when I left. Huang Jicheng, one of the leaders of this operation and publicly provoked and slapped by Su Wenzhen. Angered, he threw down his harsh words on the spot and said, Su Wenzhen, don't be arrogant. The days are still long. You better hope it doesn't fall into my hands. Otherwise, I will make your life worse than death. Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen sneered and said, Huang Jicheng, when I drink with General Inspector Li another day, we should have a good conversation. The police force is not a garbage collector, let alone a garbage dump. Don't put all the garbage inside. As long as you take off this layer of tiger skin, Huang Jicheng has offended countless people with your past years of black and white behavior. I'm afraid it will be difficult to live until tomorrow. Shout loudly with me. Humph. Huang Jicheng angrily cursed and said, I'm just going to sacrifice all my tiger skin. I'll kill you. As he spoke, he rushed forward and fought desperately with Huang Jicheng. Seeing this, Lu Qichang quickly hugged Huang Jicheng and shouted, Old Huang, don't be impulsive. He's intentionally provoking you. Once you rush up, leave him a handle. Let's go, let's go. Let's take note of this account first. Let's take a look at him and see how powerful he will be. After Huang Jicheng struggled to no avail, he also regained consciousness. Knowing that Su Wenzhen is currently supported by Li Shutang, there is no way to deal with him no matter what. I have nowhere to vent my anger. Angry, he turned around and rushed out of the hospital, got into a police car, started the car, and stepped on the gas pedal. With a whoosh, it rushed out. Lu Qichang quickly chased after him, but only saw one ending. So he ordered, "Stop the team, Qiu Chongbang, from the angry case, you lead the team back to the West Kowloon headquarters." "Yes sir." Zhang Chongbang immediately saluted and executed the order. But at this moment, Lu Qichang shouted, "Who is that, AO?" "Yes, come over here." Qiu Gongao was stunned for a moment, not realizing that as a senior inspector, Lu Qichang did not call his master Qiu Chongbang. But he called himself. Qiu Chongbang looked back with a hint of confusion in his eyes. "Sir Lu, do you call me?" Qiu Gongao said excitedly. For a police officer like him who has just graduated from a police academy, Lu Qichang, who has been a police officer for over a decade and is also a senior inspector, I can definitely be considered a high-ranking figure. Can you check Su Wenzhen's social background for me? I want to know why there is this phone call tonight. Do you understand what I mean? Lu Qichang said solemnly. "Yes, Mr. Lu." Qiu Gongao replied excitedly. Police officers like him usually receive tasks from the higher level and are rarely directly appointed by Lu Qichang. So, naturally, I want to perform well in front of Lu Qichang. And the reason why Lu Qichang chose Qiu Gongao was not someone else. It's because Qiu Gongao's father is the famous big water throat Gao Laosi on Hong Kong Island, from the martial arts World Dragon and Tiger Battle, the true fourth brother. Qiu Gongao and his mother's surname Qiu Yinong. Jianghu people call him the fourth brother. After the explanation was completed, Lu Qichang immediately got into the police car. Start the engine, roar into the night, and disappear into the vast traffic. About half an hour later, Huang Zhicheng and Lu Qichang arrived at the top of Ziyun Mountain one after another. That's right, they are also like Big Boss B, Chen Haonan, and Shanji. It was also from the Shixiaowai refugee camp. The difference is that Lu Qichang and Huang Zhicheng are academic achievers who follow the police academy route. But Chen Haonan and Shanji, pure academic scumbags, can only drop out of school and mix with society. Old Huang, it's been so many years now. Your impulsive temperament hasn't changed at all, it's still the same as when you were at the police academy. By the way, is there anything else wrong with your fingers? Lu Qichang and Huang Zhicheng stood side by side on a large stone at the mountaintop, overlooking the entire night view of Kowloon City. Fingers are nothing, I can't swallow this breath. If the club leader whispers to me, it's okay. Now his mother, a dwarf mule, can ride on our heads and threaten police officers. I really think we're eating dry rice. Huang Zhicheng said angrily. It is obvious that the humiliation and anger suffered in the hospital have not subsided yet. No, you're wrong. It's not that the short mule dares to ride on our heads. But power, it's Li Shutang, it's the position of chief inspector. Speaking of this, Lu Qichang smiled mysteriously and said, "Guess how much Li Shutang's phone call tonight is worth?" Huang Zhicheng was momentarily stunned, then reacted and tentatively said, 1 million. Lu Qichang shook his head. 2 million. 5 million. 8 million. Huang Zhicheng extended his finger and gestured for a figure 8. He said, "It can't be higher. 8 million yuan. I can buy 1 building and 16 houses in Sim Sha Sui." Lu Qichang finally revealed the answer and said, "It's a whole 10 million. Upon hearing this, Huang Zhicheng was so shocked that he almost dropped his chin. Subconsciously shouting, "Su Wenzhen, is this crazy? Make a phone call for 10 million and buy a favor." Speaking of this, he seemed to have realized it. He said anxiously, "Wait, no, everyone knows. Blowing the chicken is like a puppet dragon head with Liansheng, and he has no real power at all. Give him the lead horse, he won't get any oil or water. The sound of a blowing chicken is so poor that it's just 2 rundown strip clubs in Wan Chai. Lu Qichang, who received a call from Qiu Gongao on the way, explained with a smile, "Do you know that Su Wenzhen has a nickname called E.Huizhen? He is the largest A.Cargo leader in Hong Kong, controlling the A.Cargo business with annual revenue of tens of millions. Outside the urban area of Yaomati, there are 3 large factories with 7,000 to 8,000 employees under them. Sleeping trough, selling a bra and underwear is so rich." Huang Zicheng couldn't set aside a channel. But soon, his professional ethics made him keenly aware that there was great potential in this. A goods warehouse. I turned his factory into a drug trafficking warehouse and a system center. Huang Zicheng sneered. Upon hearing this, Lu Qichang was immediately startled. It was obvious that Huang Zicheng was trying to frame the situation. Hurriedly stopped and said, "Old Huang, don't be impulsive. Now that Li Shutong is covering Su Wenzhen, we can't afford to provoke him." Huang Zicheng looked indifferent and said, "What are you afraid of? Li Shutong is only 1 month away from retirement. Besides, as long as we have solid evidence, Su Wenzhen will not be able to escape the charge of drug trafficking and production. Can Li Shutong cover up the sky with one hand?" However, Lu Qichang warned, what if in a month, Li Shutong not only fails to retire, but also is promoted to the rank of police chief and becomes the first Chinese police chief? What you're doing is seeking your own death, seeking your own destruction. Impossible. How could the ghost just easily delegate power? Police officers and above have always been Ghost's private land. He definitely doesn't have this ability in Li Shutong. He snatches food from the tiger's mouth. Huang Zicheng retorted decisively. Yes, he doesn't have this ability, but he does in mainland China. Moreover, since the signing of the agreement last year, the police force has gradually delegated power to us Chinese, which is the trend. Lu Qichang corrected. No, I think London can definitely withstand the pressure from the mainland. At least until 1990, there won't be a Chinese promoted to police chief. His fate is not good. Li Shutong was born a few years earlier, no wonder someone else. Huang Zicheng said firmly. Anyway, I must listen to this matter within a month. Unless absolutely necessary, we must not touch Su Wenzhen. We cannot joke about our own future. Lu Qichang warned. Brothers, please ask for a flower and a monthly pass. Chapter 9. Greedy Puppet Head, Supreme Power Horn. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At the same time, in the ward of Yaomati Hospital. Azhen, what did you use to invite the Grand Chief Inspector to come forward and intercede for you? Sister-in-law Ruby intentionally asked in front of the boasting chicken while peeling the apple skin. Su Wenzhen understood and replied with a smile, "What else can I have? Of course it's money. Can it be me or Li Shutong having an illegitimate child? Money can not only make ghosts grind, but also communicate with gods and power. Big Shot Light asked me to pick up the goods, but I didn't want the final payment of 10 million and asked him to give it to his brother.in-law Li Shutong." As soon as these words were spoken, the boasting chicken lying on the hospital bed was taken aback. Shocked, he widened his eyes in disbelief and said, "Azhen, how come you have so much money? Where did it come from? Did you go and rob the bank?" After speaking, he coughed and trembled violently a few times. "What kind of bank are you robbing?" Azhen is the largest A-class tycoon in Hong Kong, monopolizing the entire Kowloon and New Territories. There are tens of millions of net profits in just 1 year. More money than us and the biggest and most powerful D in Liansheng's territory. Ruby said in unison. She knows that in the entire club, the biggest fear is Big D. I heard that my top horse earns tens of millions of dollars a year by selling A-grade goods, and he is even richer than Big D. Azhen, is what she said true? Asked the boasting chicken quickly. Dragon head, to be honest with you, I haven't participated in any club activities in the past 2 years. But I'm not idle either. Do you remember the 3 factories outside the urban area of Yaomati, located in Liansheng? Su Wenzhen reminded. Remember, when Lao Zijuan wanted to borrow money from me, he said it was for the sake of his deceased father's face. But where do I have money? I only have 2 tattered striptease bars, and I owe Big D 5 million just for gambling debts. Chuiji sighed and said helplessly. He, as the most cowardly leader in the history of the team, doesn't want to be tough. But he has no money, no power, and no capital. Otherwise, who wouldn't want to be a real man? Now those 3 factories are all mine, and I have 7 or 8,000 workers under my command. Do you think I have the money? Su Wenzhen asked with a smile. Ruby on the side saw the situation and took the opportunity to say, look, the leader of the team is so capable. You have been in a car accident and have been hit like this. Why don't you hand over the underwater roster of the club and have Azhen handle it for you? Find out the real culprit behind this car accident and seek revenge for you. Also, your 2 children, Chick Girl and Flying Tiger. Azhen is so wealthy, let him spend 5 million to deliver to Southeast Asia and Malaysia first, and then transfer to Europe. After the matter here is settled, we will also send you to Europe and reunite with them. 5 million is enough for your family of 3 to live for a lifetime. The purchasing power of 5 million Hong Kong dollars in 1985 is at least equivalent to 2 to 3 billion yuan in cash in later generations. It is evident that Ruby speaks with great sincerity. But why should I believe you? Chuiji frowned and questioned. He is indeed a weak and incompetent leader. It doesn't mean he's stupid and easily fooled. It's very simple, Dragon Head. You give me a bank account, and I'll deposit 5 million yuan directly into it. Su Wenzhen said immediately. No, it's not enough, I want 20 million. Upon hearing this, the boasting chicken suddenly became greedy. In his opinion, since you, Su Wenzhen, don't even frown, just give Li Shutong 10 million yuan. So, boss, I want 20 million, isn't that excessive? With this in mind, the lion immediately spoke up and said, I like gambling, and I'm sure I'll play some games there too. 5 million is not enough for me to spend, 20 million, not even a penny less. 20 million. Brother Chong, are you crazy? A Big D who has been around for over a decade, even if all the family assets add up, I don't know if there's 20 million. You're asking Azhen to take out 20 million in one breath, aren't you deliberately trying to make things difficult? Ruby shouted angrily. My chest is also trembling. Hee, I don't care. I'll transfer 20 million to my bank card, and then arrange for my children to go abroad tonight. Otherwise, you two won't get the underwater roster and power of attorney in my hands, said the boastful chicken firmly. Even in order to get the money, he persuaded Su Wenzhen, Azhen, you can give me 20 million yuan, it's not a loss. Not only can I get the club's underwater roster and my authorization letter, but I can't even take this sister in law with me. As for whether you can eat it or not, it depends on your abilities. Upon hearing these words, Ruby's heart was filled with killing intent. She never expected that for the sake of money, she could even give her wife to others to play with. At this moment, even the last hint of gratitude towards the boasting chicken was gone. I didn't hand the peeled apple to the chicken, but instead, I inserted a fruit knife directly into the apple core and stood it on the table. In this regard, the boastful chicken turns a blind eye. Anyway, he's paralyzed, and it's absolutely impossible for him to play with women in his lifetime. Instead of letting a beautiful and charming woman stay by your side, you can only watch but not eat. It's better to sell it for a good price. Okay, no problem. Su Wenzhen readily agreed. But then a request was made. But the leader, you also have to hand over all the information and past account books related to smuggling and gambling with Big D and uncles over the years. Upon hearing this, Chuiji didn't hesitate for a moment and said, "Okay, anyway, I've gone abroad. Even if Big D is so strong, he can't reach out to Europe." Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen immediately boasted about the chicken's noodles in front of him. Call Xiao Ran in the factory and say, "Xiao Ran, you're ready to deposit 20 million yuan into this bank account." Upon hearing this, Xiao Ran was stunned for a moment. "There is less than 6 million cash in the company account, where did you get 20 million? But soon, with a keen mind, he quickly reacted. Assured, "No problem, brother Zhen." After hanging up the phone, Su Wenzhen called Su Ba in the villa. The command said, "Take Jizai Main Feishu to the Wan Chai ferry terminal immediately, and find Snakehead to escort them to Malaysia, Southeast Asia." "Yes, master." Su Ba immediately replied. After finishing all of this, Su Wenzhen turned his head to look at the blowing chicken. With a smile, "Dragon Head, I've finished what I need to do. Now, it's your turn." Upon hearing these words, he boasted in a deep voice, "Don't worry, wait until I confirm that the bank has received the payment." About half an hour later, after confirming the bank's receipt of 20 million yuan on the POS machine. That's why he's willing to hand over all the information in his hands. After Su Wenzhen obtained the underwater roster, evidence of illegal and disorderly behavior by D and some of his uncles, as well as a power of attorney. Only then does it truly mean that he, Su Wenzhen, will officially launch an attack on the new spokesperson of Liansheng. Truly possessing capital and qualified to participate in the highest power struggle of this century-old club. Chapter 10. Who dares to compete with me for the dragon head stick? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Almost at the same moment, a pleasant bell rang in Su Wenzhen's mind. Ding! Congratulations to the gang leader, Mr. Su, who has made a name for himself at West Kowloon Police Station and has won the list of players from the United Victory Underwater team. For this, the system will reward 200,000 achievement points. Ding! This achievement point can upgrade the first-level village center to the third level, and the population limit will be increased to 30 at that time. System prompt. Please decide whether to upgrade. Upon hearing these words, Su Wenzhen was immediately overjoyed. 9 third-class hairpin curling Qin soldiers are already so fierce, if there were 20 more. Isn't it equivalent to him controlling 20.9 red stick-level thugs in his hands? You know, according to the rules of Hong Kong Island, there are 2 red sticks at one entrance. Usually, a club is at its peak, with only about 20 members. Even Hong Xing, who has always been known for his martial arts skills, has 13 halls and 6 red sticks at the headquarters. The total is only 30.2. It's just 3 more than Su Wenzhen. Su Wenzhen immediately decided to smash the pot and sell iron, and also wanted to exchange these 23rd-class hairpins for Qin soldiers. Immediately communicate with consciousness in your mind, saying, "Upgrade." As soon as the conversation finished, the system sounded a prompt sound. 10% and 20% in the upgrade of first-level villages. Ding, 100% the upgrade is complete, and the construction of the third-level village is completed. After the construction was completed, Su Wenzhen immediately ordered the construction workers to build 4 residential buildings. In the system, each residential building can accommodate 5 Qin soldiers. So with the sound of 4 houses being completed, Su Wenzhen was finally able to summon his younger brother from the barracks. I saw him click on the barracks and head straight for the icon of the Qin army. As for Tang Bing and Song Bing, he didn't even look at them and was directly ignored. Although Qin soldiers are really expensive, summoning one on average costs 125,000 Hong Kong dollars. The 125,000 Hong Kong dollars in 1985 are at least equivalent to the 6 million soft girl coins of later generations. After all, it was still the era of 10,000 yuan households in mainland China at this time. But after using it, he only felt, "Oh my mom, it smells so good." Ding, Boss Su, are you sure you want to summon 23rd class Qin soldiers with hairpins? Note: these 20 Qin soldiers have just participated in the most brutal and heavily fought Chongping battle in history during the Cold Weapon Age. And win the victory by killing 400,000 Zhao soldiers at this moment. Both their physical strength and combat effectiveness are at their peak, and it has the effect of increasing overall combat power by 10 after a big victory. So, each Qin soldier will need 200 units of gold and 1,000 units of grain. Su Wenzhen was taken aback for a moment and cursed loudly in his heart. Dogbei system. I've spent tens of millions of dollars these past few days getting out. You want to take advantage of the fire. You are not a fucking person. Ding. The system prompts that if Mr. Su doesn't have enough money, he won't be able to exchange it. The system can convert these 20 spots into Song soldiers, just at the original price. Each Song soldier only needs 200 units of iron ore and 100 units of grain. If converted to Hong Kong dollars, it only costs 25,000 yuan per person. Su Wenzhen had a black line on his face and was actually mocked by the system. What kind of garbage is Song Bing? Whether it was the Northern Song or the Southern Song, it was known as the Army of Constant Defeat. The weakest unified dynasty in history that has never won externally. He, Su Wenzhen, could never waste this hard-earned and precious 20 spots. Immediately gritting his teeth and stomping his feet, he said in a deep voice, "Exchange." Ding, congratulations to the host. Successfully exchanged 20 Qin soldiers, each worth 250,000 Hong Kong dollars. The system directly deducts 5 million Hong Kong dollars from the private bank account of gang leader Su. System prompt, account balance is 88 yuan. Now, Su Wenzhen's personal and company accounts are probably going to be emptied. However, he is not afraid, let alone worried about throwing them out and not receiving any return. Because with these 20 red stick-level little brothers, Qin soldiers, joining, he, whose strength is rapidly expanding, will become an undeniable force in the joint victory. Thinking of this, Su Wenzhen couldn't help but growl softly, with this force, I want to see if anyone dares to compete with me for the leading stick. Azhen, what should we do next? Sister-in-law Ruby was stunned after seeing Su Wenzhen for a long time. Finally, unable to calm down, he took the initiative to ask. Before Su Wenzhen could answer, Su walked into the ward and reported, "Boss, there are 20 people coming to join us outside." "Great, now you, Su Yi and Su Er, lead 10 people. You and Su Er will be important backbone and core group of our Su family army in the future." "Oh no, team members. You must master leadership skills, do you hear me?" Su Wenzhen said in a deep voice. "Yes, thank you for nurturing me, boss." Su Yiding said excitedly, clasping his fists. "Then turn around and leave." Looking at Su Yi's departing figure, Su Wenzhen said in an unquestionable tone, "Sister-in-law, you immediately summon and win the fit people at the mouth of the 9 great halls in the name of the leader." This aura frightened Ruby not even to ask a question. Subconsciously, he replied, "Okay, I'll do it right away." Afterwards, I personally called Tun Mun Tai Pahei, Yao Ma Ti Fish Head Beacon, Mong Kok Kun Chai Sen, Yuan Long Kao Lao, and so on. About 10 minutes later, Ruby hung up the phone and forced a bitter smile, saying, "Azhen, no one wants to come over. It's not about watching the game while shipping goods, it's about gambling at the casino. The most annoying thing is that one of them said they were fishing, and the fish were about to take the bait and couldn't leave." Speaking of this, Ruby said angrily, "I'm lying in a slot. It's not like playing with my mother. Not even looking for a legitimate reason, I'm too lazy to be perfunctory. They are carrying a lot of things at the entrance of the hall, but they haven't paid any attention to me at all." Upon hearing this, Su Wenzhen joked, "It's not that they didn't take you seriously, but rather that they didn't take the useless faucet of blowing chicken seriously. I used to watch the lively chicken blowing on the side, but I heard this." The smile immediately froze on the face, and the eyes were filled with flames. But he had to admit that what Su Wenzhen said was true. Su San, Su Si, Su Wu, Su Lu, all four of you come in for me. You go to De Pu He, you Tu Biao, Guan Zai Sen, and Gao Lao's house separately. Tell them that if one doesn't come, the other is the real culprit behind the scenes who crashed and won the championship and boasted about the chicken. I want to see who can bear such a charge. Su Wenzhen sneered. Upon hearing these words, Ruby's eyes lit up instantly. Excitedly, he said, "Ah Azhen, this move is amazing. The club values morality the most, and no one dares to openly deceive them, let alone be accused of plotting to harm the leader. This time, they have to obediently submit." After the order was given, the four of them quickly drove to their destination. In less than half an hour, they all brought over these four main entrances with their handles. Of course, at the same time, Su Wenzhen had personally led Su Yi and Su Er, as well as the 20 Qin soldiers just summoned. Rush to Wong Tai Sin Road in East Kowloon, which is a must-pass route from the South New Territories back to Almaty in West Kowloon. He, Su Wenzhen, wants to seize the leading stick that symbolizes the highest power of the club here. Big shots, please ask for flowers and monthly tickets.